After the truly brilliant ITV drama Mr Bates versus the Post Office forced the government into taking long-awaited action over the Horizon scandal, campaigners are now calling for those behind the cover-up in the Post Office to face punishment by the courts.
Well, last week we spoke to one of the victims, former Postmistress Jess Kaur. It was a very emotional interview, and Jess says she's been blown away by the outpouring of support since her story came to light. We're going to catch up with Jess in just a moment, as well as the actor Krupa Pattani, whose powerful portrayal brought Jess's ordeal to life. Let's have a look.
I see people I know, and sometimes they look surprised to see me, and I wonder, do they think I've gone to prison already?
Oh, Sam. If I just had the money for a stupid train ticket.
I wouldn't be much fun for you, Joe. Oh, God!
Sam, what is it?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm all right, Joe. It's just the postman. Every time the door goes, I think it's them come to get me.
Oh. Oh, you poor thing.
Goodness me. Jess and Krupa join us now. Jess, I mean, it is such a tough and chilling watch to see Krupa telling your story so powerfully. And, of course, over the last week, you've had both the experience of seeing an actor playing you on television, but you've also been on our programme a week ago and talking publicly. What kind of response have you had over the last few days to that?
Firstly, just want to say thank you for having me back. Oh. It was a pleasure to come last time, and it's always a pleasure to come back as well.
It's lovely to have you.
Thank you.
And we're very pleased you wanted to come back. It must have been OK last time.
It was really good, yeah. You really looked after me. Yeah, the response, people are coming out of the woodworks that I've never spoken to for a very long time. Everybody's watching it. People are asking me, how do I watch it? How do I go back and watch it? Everybody's really interested in it, and very good response.
Jess, one of the other victims that we spoke to on the programme said that it wasn't until the drama that a number of people finally believed that he was innocent, including his own daughters. Have you had that experience that people have come to you and said, oh, we realise now it wasn't true?
At the time, like I did tell you last time, we did have a lot of people that didn't believe us.
Yes.
But yeah, nobody's actually come back and said, oh, we believe you now. But in their minds, they're probably thinking that, aren't they? Yeah. So nobody's actually physically come up to me and said, we believe you now.
It almost feels like some people might owe you an apology.
Yeah.
Krupa, you watched the interview last week on Good Morning Britain, and then you made direct contact with Jess in order to talk to her. Had you had much contact before that?
Well, I was lucky enough to meet Jess just before I started filming, which was incredible. Jess and Pamasha, and we'd sort of stayed in text contact since then, really, and we got to see each other again at the screening.
And so when you got back in touch with her after the interview, what did you say?
Well, we were just talking in general, I've just been sort of checking in with Jess and saying, how are you feeling? Because I can only imagine what it feels like to see your story on television like that, something so personal and so painful. We were just talking, and Jess said I said she was amazing in the show, and when she came on, and so yeah, Jess was like, do you want to come with me?
Fantastic. And it's a huge responsibility for you, isn't it, to tell the story?
Yeah.
She's actually 35 at the time, but I'm like 52 now. So that's why there's like a big difference, like 15 years it's been going on for. So Krupa's playing my role as if I was 35 when I first bought the post office.
Of course.
So now, like 15 years on, and I'm 52, it just seems really unreal, the way that the story's been told.
There's been all those years, Jess, which have passed, which you refer to there, and people are now talking about apologies or compensation. But the thing which is so harrowing about your story, which Krupa tells so brilliantly, is the personal distress, the impact upon your life, your mental health. And those aren't things which compensation or apologies can take away. And I just wondered, how are you now, and how much do you still kind of carry every day the burden of those experiences?
Since the drama series has actually been out, I just feel like that everything's been told now. Like, there's things that I wanted to say but I couldn't say, or didn't have the facilities to how to say it. A lot of things that are in the drama series, they weren't actually put in as well. Like the story I told you last time about the doctors being sent to the hospital. So that was another thing that was quite important to be out there, that they didn't believe that I was actually ill in hospital.
It's amazing. I found this out today. The post office sent their own doctors to hospital because they didn't believe when you and your family told them that you were ill and in hospital, they had to come and do their own checks.
Checks, yeah. So I mean, I don't remember it so much because I was not in the right state. So they came twice, and then they did examine me as well. So
the post office doctors?
Yeah.
That's so intrusive.
Yeah. I mean, how would you not believe a hospital report? So they've sent their own in.
Just to remind people what led you to this place, you suffered a mental breakdown because you were accused of stealing £11,000 by the post office. You were dragged through the courts in a process that took 3 years before eventually the judge threw the case out, didn't they? And that was because there was an issue with the pin pad. 3 years of hell.
It was, yeah.
Compounded.
It's a great moment in the drama. You cheer when the judge says that. You think, yes.
Yeah, but
it must have been quite a moment.
It was. Well, the thing is, I wasn't actually there when they threw it out of court because I was still in hospital. But I didn't find out till quite a few days afterwards because I wasn't in the right state.
Goodness.
So.
Krupa, did you know very much about this scandal? Because what has astonished everybody is there had been campaigning, there had been journalism, there had been a number of panorama programmes, there had been a lot of investigative Sunday Times magazine, Mail had done a campaign on this, there had been reporting on this, but it hadn't captured the public imagination in the way that the drama did. Did you know very much about it? And as you sort of inhabited Jess's story and played her character, how did you feel as the story developed?
I didn't know loads about it before I did it. And when I came across the script, I was just bowled over by the fact that it was real. And I think that was a real driver throughout the entire time making it, that this is real and this still isn't resolved. And I just felt, I did feel responsibility, but I think I just felt so much empathy for Jess going through it, and because she's just an honest person trying to do her job and also serve her community as a sub-postmaster. And to then be put through something so excruciating, and for no one to be able to help, like, it was such a horrible thing to sort of experiencing it, the insight that I got playing Jess, like, every single day for 3 years, you don't know if you're going to be taken away from your family, and there's no one that can say, don't worry, it's going to be OK. There was just nothing like that. So, yeah.
Can I ask, though, because it's an amazing cast. I mean, so many brilliant kind of actors and actresses that you see. But nobody knew this was going to take off to such an extent that it's done over the last week. Was there a moment when you, reading the script, when maybe it was, doing a group reading, was there a moment when you thought, actually, this is going to be really big? Or were you as surprised as everybody when the public reaction has been so huge?
I'm surprised as everybody. I mean, I think I wanted, in my heart of hearts, for people to be like, no, not on our watch, this isn't right. But I can't believe the extent that it's gone to. Yeah, I'm blown away by it.
Jess, Paula Venables has said she's going to give back her CBE. When you heard that news, what was your reaction?
Like we've always said, we don't trust anything until we see it. So,
Rishi Sunak says there's going to be compensation for everybody. Have you had any notification of that? Because you so far have received not a penny in compensation, have you?
so with Rishi Sunak's comment, we, like I said, we've always said we're not going to believe anything until we've seen it, because we've had so many broken promises, so many deadlines have not been met. So.
But nobody's been in contact with you from the post office,
No.
from the government,
No.
from anybody.
No.
That kind of odd.
No.
I mean, shouldn't somebody be sort of keeping in touch?
Well, no, nobody at all. No.
That's remarkable, because it's not like it's hard to get hold of you.
No, no.
We have invited you back on our programme.
Yeah.
They could literally contact Good Morning Britain this morning
Yeah.
while you're on air,
Oh,
couldn't
yeah,
they?
Yeah.
That's
Feels like the
absolutely-
post office. I mean, does the post office yet understand what they did and what they've got to do to put things right? Because if they did, would they be in touch with you?
Oh, yeah, that's what we think as well.
And what do you think about individuals who knew the truth, but saw you go through the courts for 3 years?
Yeah,
Should people face court themselves, do you think?
100%, yeah, yeah. If we've been dragged through the courts for so many years, OK, mine took 3 years. There's postmasters, mistresses that have been through courts longer than me. They're going back like 20 years. Mine was 15. So, you know, if we've gone through that trauma, they need to as well.
And face jail.
Yeah.
So this is your moment. What would you tell Prime Minister Rishi Sunak right now about what you want next to sort this out?
Just to get justice for everybody. You know, put a closure behind it all. Let us move on with our lives, and get everybody compensated what they deserve. So that's what needs to be considered, really.
Hear, hear. It's a very simple request, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, no more broken promises.
No
Yeah,
more
like,
broken promises.
You know, deadlines are set for a reason, and they've always been broken. So,
Jess, thank you for coming back. Krupa, thank you
having us.
very
Thank
much.
you.
And for your amazing portrayal. You know, the drama has done something so huge, and let's hope the government can follow up. Thanks both very much.
you.
And this story's not over, is it?
no.
So we'll have to have you back in a few months' time to tell us,
OK.
have they finally been in touch and are things getting better? That's what
Thank
we want
you.
to know.
Thank
you very much.
so
Thank you.
much.